Hey Ben, this is Nick from Oregon. So just to relate, or just to kind of extend the conversation a tiny bit about Progressive Army and, dark money, light money, and then also money from sources that we wouldn't necessarily say are, pure or whatever, a la, George Soros. I'm curious if you can kind of relate that to the conversation that people usually have about TYT and how, oh, well, they got a big, huge grant or whatever of, a bunch of money from a Republican senator. And that must mean then that, TYT is, Republican centered, or they're going to go light on Republicans or whatever it is. And, specifically how about, how you mentioned, hey, if I get a check from George Soros, I'm not necessarily going to do what he wants me to do. And on top of that, I'm going to use his money to the, most efficient way possible. I wonder if you can just give some kind of comparison allusion to those arguments side by side.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Thank you for the show. Have a good one.
Thanks for the call. That's a big one. I'll try to do it as quickly as I can. Not all money is good money. And so I want to start with that caveat, because clearly there's some money that you can take that would drain the soul out of your movement, just by virtue of the demands that they will place on you. There are people who would love to pay the Benjamin Dixon Show to tout their message. And I won't accept every piece of money that comes my way. Matter of fact, we turned down money before. Just last week, we turned down some money. So we're not going to accept any money. But you know what I don't have a problem with is somebody who wants to invest and get a return on their investment and gives me the journalistic freedom to do and say exactly what I would do and say if I was doing it for free, which I've been doing for a very long time, right? If a person is not going to get in way, and I can't speak for the Young Turks because I haven't followed them enough to say if their message has changed since they got that investment. I can't make that call because I haven't watched them enough to say that. But I do, the people that I know personally, the people affiliated with them, Kyle, John, Jimmy Dore. I mean, me and Jimmy Dore disagree on a lot of stuff. But one thing I can say is that no amount of money that if the Republicans gave the TYT money in order to soften the message, they got a bad deal, especially with Jimmy Dore, So I can't speak to anybody else but the individual people I know. But all I can speak to is the Benjamin Dixon Show and the Progressive Army. Not all money is good money, and we're not going to just take money from anywhere. That's number one. But number two, we can't be stupid and forever cut ourselves off at the knees and limit our ability to get our voice out on a more significant level because we don't want to take money from someone who's been labeled a boogeyman or for whatever reason. And I don't get, whatever, your boogeyman. Hell, I said on my Patreon show, I said if the Koch brothers wants to give me money, they probably will put a hitman out on me because I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do with that money, right? Which is probably why I won't get the money, because they know that. So the point is somebody controlling your message. You can tell that by how the journalist continues their work. And if somebody wants to control our message, I don't like it when people on Twitter try to control my message. I don't like it when patrons try to control my message. I actually am, the only thing I dislike more than conspiracy theories is somebody trying to control me. And so all I can guarantee you is that even though right now we are 100% funded by the money that I have at the end of the month and the money that our patrons gives us, I'm not opposed to allowing someone to invest in what we're doing, because how else are we going to did I say it on this show or did I say it with our patrons? I don't know. The revolution has to be capitalized. You're not going to be able to do the things that you want to do in this capitalistic system without capital. That's the bottom line. Every single one of us. And it's not even just about paying your bills. It's about getting your message out. I could be speaking to 100,000 people right now, saying the exact same thing I'm saying right now if the funding was in place. But if we as progressives continue to shoot ourselves in the foot and cut ourselves at the knees and make this, what source? Here's what's happening. What source of money is actually pure enough for this select group of progressives? What that means is the progressive movement is limited to what they can raise on Patreon. And if the progressive movement is limited to what we can raise on Patreon, then the progressive movement might as well shut down. Because you're not going to be able to fund all of these groups that are doing good works through Patreon. There's only a limited amount of money out there that the people can give individually. And if we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot, we'll continue to have fabulous shows that have, 25 people listening live right now. Yeah, you guys might want that, but I'll see you next time.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.thebenjamindixonshow.com to register for our blog, join the Progressive Army, and support The Benjamin Dixon Show. It's Ben Dixon! If you like this episode, be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Consider becoming a Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show and support The Benjamin Dixon Show.